A mix of rain and snow in some areas, and temperatures are falling.
Let's get right to Storm Team 4 meteorologist Rafael Miranda.
Hey, that's right. Yeah, good evening, guys. We saw 1 to 3 inches of snow across northwest New Jersey this evening. Now, the good news here we see on Storm Tracker, most of the rain and snow is already moving offshore, so we're drying out already. But now the next problem will be patchy black ice for your tomorrow morning commute as temperatures are dropping rapidly below freezing in many spots. You can see this is northwest New Jersey, down to 32 now in Alamucci with some snow on the ground there. Morris County, you have some snow. Places like Mine Hill and Denville, temperatures just around freezing in many spots. In Central Park, 36, but we're heading down to around freezing in the 20s, already working into Monticello. These are your actual temperatures. Look what happens overnight tonight, down to the 20s in Westchester County. Also, we have some wet roadways there. So patchy black ice develops later on after midnight towards your Wednesday morning commute, rather. And you can see these temperatures in the 20s. These are your lows across the Hudson Valley. So we have to watch out for slick spots as you're heading out the door. And then there is finally a warm up and a sign of spring in the 7-day forecast. We'll take a look at that in just a few. Back to you.
All right, can't wait, Rafi. Thank you very much. And you can track the snow and rain with our News 4 New York app. Tap the News 4 logo in the corner and select the weather tab. See the latest forecasts, interactive radar, and directions on how you can submit your own weather video. The News 4 New York app for iPhone is available in the Apple App Store right now.
Breaking news in Queens now. 2 women have been shot inside a home. The shooting led to a brief standoff with police along Gates Avenue. That is in the Ridgewood section of Queens. Right now, it is not clear what led up to the shooting. Police say the man who pulled the trigger barricaded himself inside the house for about 20 minutes. When police gained access, they found the man dead. The women who were wounded were taken to a nearby hospital. Their conditions are not known.
Well, how could she do it? That's what many people are asking tonight about a mother charged with killing her 20-month-old son in a restaurant bathroom. We're now hearing from the child's father. News 4's Bryn Gingras is live outside Bellevue Hospital, where that woman is getting a psychiatric evaluation. Bryn.
And check Letitia Fisher's husband told us that yesterday he woke up with his wife, they hugged, and everything seemed fine. So when he ended his day at a police precinct with officers telling him that his son was now dead and his wife may be responsible, he was asking the same exact question. How could this happen? These smiling faces of son Gabriel and wife Letitia are the last happy memories Luis Fisher has of his family. He says he hasn't been able to speak to his wife, who this morning cried after authorities charged her with killing the couple's son.
I was shocked that she could have done that to my son. Everything seems fine, and I don't know what happened.
Police say Fisher smothered the child in the bathroom of this Midtown burger restaurant Monday. It happened while restaurant patrons dined on lunch.
It's an awful situation. I mean, no child that young obviously deserves to die.
Luis Fisher says police told him about his wife and son when he got home from work Monday night. He couldn't make sense of why she would take her own child's life.
She's a happy mother. She do anything for the kids, anything.
But neighbors paint a different picture, alleging she suffered from depression. Luis said maybe, but before they met.
You know a person from their past, but then when they improve, you don't think that anything else would, happen.
It's a nightmare. I'm waiting for to wake up, but nothing.
And Luis Fisher told us he is sticking by his wife. He says, after all, she is the mother of his child. Now, Letitia Fisher is here undergoing a psych evaluation at Bellevue ahead of her arraignment, which could come as early as tomorrow. I'm live outside Bellevue tonight. Bryn Gingras, News 4 New York.
Bryn, thank you. An explosive argument in Brooklyn tonight ends with a chase, sideswiped cars, and 2 people stabbed. All the commotion spanning several blocks. News 4's Ida Siegel has the late details from Williamsburg.
Police say the wild street brawl started here on Wilson Street, captured on this witness cell phone video. Police got the call and discovered that a 21-year-old man had been stabbed in the neck, an 18-year-old stabbed in the chest. Witnesses say it started with this fight that eventually involved 6 or 7 men, including this man's neighbor.
I saw when I went to my neighborhood to see what's going on with him, saw him bleeding from his face. Everything was kind of tough.
At that point, he says his neighbor ran. The other men in the fight got in this blue hatchback and chased him with the car.
They were driving very recklessly, hitting other cars.
The melee ended here on Division Street. You can see the men bandaged up. It's unclear exactly where the stabbing took place, but locals say They're surprised to see this kind of crime in their neighborhood.
Things like that don't really happen over here. I thought it was a car accident or something. I'm very shocked.
The stabbing victims were taken to Bellevue Medical Center. Police say they're still investigating what this was all about. No arrests just yet. Reporting from Williamsburg, Ida Siegel, News 4, New York.
Well, just weeks after a man was arrested on charges of pointing a laser at planes landing at LaGuardia Airport, the FAA has launched a new investigation. Someone is now targeting the cockpits of planes landing at Newark Liberty, and that's where News 4's Gus Rosendale is live with details for us. Gus.
Well, Chuck, chances are the passengers who landed here at Newark had no idea something was amiss, but they did face something that prosecutors and experts say can be potentially disastrous.
12 o'clock and 5 miles, we have a red laser. 12 o'clock and 5 miles, red laser. Okay, thank you. Any injuries?
We tracked down the latest air traffic control transmissions that show 2 recent flights heading here to Newark were targeted by a laser on the ground. A threat that can turn a crystal clear view from the cockpit into a bright, blinding, and dangerous situation.
Hit us directly, but we weren't looking directly at it, so we're good. Okay, thank you. It's still occurring.
The FAA says an express jet flight and a Shuttle America flight landing at Newark around 9 Sunday night both encountered lasers pointed at them.
What they do when they hit a cockpit is that they flare very bright, 28, 35 times the intensity of a flashlight. If they hit a pilot in the eyes, it destroys his focus during a landing.
We pulled the numbers. Newark had 28 laser pointing reports last year, only 3 through the end of last month. LaGuardia is dealing with 21 reports so far and 41 for all 2014. Over at JFK, 19 for last year, 2 in recent months. And it was just a few weeks ago a Bronx man was charged for pointing lasers at a number of aircraft near the city, including an NYPD chopper. For authorities on the ground and pilots above, this is not a prank.
The landings are always the most dangerous, and under 500 feet or even 1,000 feet, the airplane's moving at hundreds of feet per second.
And it is a federal crime with a potential sentence of up to 5 years in prison and a fine of $250,000. And perhaps spreading word of those penalties is responsible for the fact that overall in the Tri-State area, the number of these incidents has been on the decline in recent years. Live at Newark tonight, I'm Gus Rosendale, News 4 New York.
Gus, thank you. The investigation tonight into the Germanwings crash reveals the airliner's parent company knew about the co-pilot's depression before the tragedy. Andreas Lubitz is suspected of deliberately crashing the passenger plane in the French Alps last week, killing everyone on board. Now Lufthansa confirms that Lubitz disclosed he suffered from severe depression in an email to the flight training pilot school in 2009. After admitting it was a past issue, he resumed training and qualified as a pilot with Lufthansa. The airliner says that he passed all medical checks.
Well, the NYPD wants your help finding a man who robbed a pregnant woman at a Manhattan ATM. This is the suspect, 49-year-old Melvin Johnson. The robbery happened yesterday morning at a Bank of America branch on 6th Avenue in Greenwich Village. Police say Johnson followed the victim into the ATM and threatened to cut her and her baby unless she withdrew money for him. She complied, and the robber ran off. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers.
Governor Cuomo joined a growing group of governors today announcing a ban on non-essential state-funded travel to Indiana by New York State employees. The reason? Indiana's Religious Freedom Restoration Act. At a news conference today, Indiana's governor said he still stands by the new law and is glad he signed it. But he also said that he is giving his state lawmakers until the end of the week to send him legislation that clarifies that it is not a license to discriminate, as opponents claim.
The Religious Freedom Restoration Act was about religious liberty, not about discrimination. I believe in my heart of hearts that no one should be harassed or mistreated because of who they are, who they love, or what they believe.
Late today, Arkansas lawmakers passed a similar law. Arkansas's governor says he'll sign it despite opposition from business giant Walmart, the Little Rock Chamber of Commerce, and gay civil rights groups.
Federal corruption charges could be filed against Senator Robert Menendez sometime tomorrow. That's according to sources familiar with the investigation, who say the Justice Department is planning to move forward against New Jersey's senior senator. At issue, the senator's acceptance of campaign cash and gifts from a Florida eye doctor, including free private plane trips. The feds have been looking into whether in exchange the senator used his office to try to help the eye doctor secure a port security contract and to assist him with investigators who were accusing the doctor of millions in overbilling Medicare. The senator and eye doctor Solomon Melgen deny any wrongdoing and insist they've been longtime friends. Meanwhile, if he's indicted, could Menendez be the deciding vote on the next Attorney General? The timing of the expected criminal charges comes as confirmation of Attorney General nominee Loretta Lynch hangs in the balance. Menendez, who's a Democrat, has not yet shown how he will vote. Washington insiders say his vote, or the vote of Illinois Republican Senator Mark Kirk, is needed to get Lynch to 50 votes. Lynch and Justice Department officials have not commented on questions about whether she has directly sought support of Senator Menendez.
Well, coming up on News 4 New York, an apparent case of road rage caught on camera.
Stop it with your mouth. Okay. Stop it with your, for what, sir? For what, sir? Okay. Stop it with that.
The man heard on this video.
Hey.
All right, we'll do. Here's what's coming up in sports.
Sevilla, the Rangers try to get back on track. Coming up in sports, the Broadway Blues play a thriller with the Jets in Winnipeg. And the surging Nets try to keep their winning streak and playoff hopes alive against the Pacers. Highlights are just ahead.
D-Well with a beautiful. Would you like to have kids?
It seems long term.
Alzheimer's is hard to deal with.
I'm doing really good.
I just didn't realize I would get emotional.